How do you know if you're living your life as creatively as you'd like? Today's quote that's inspiring our journaling today in the 30-day journaling challenge is from the actor Alan Alda, who said, "Be brave enough to live life creatively, the creative place where no one else has ever been." Let that sink in. It's so satisfying, isn't it, to find inspiration and hear the words from other artists who've gone before us, who've forged their own path. I know that has been it's made such a huge difference in my own life, because my role models in life were people I didn't know growing up. They were other writers, artists, fictional characters. From a very early age, I read stories like Little House on the Prairie, and I saw the film Pippi Longstocking. And those books and movies really helped me see a whole different world that I could belong to, that I could make for myself. Especially Pippi Longstocking. I think about that a lot, like a gal living with animals. Going back to my journaling today, let's see. I just got back from a walk. I was going to do my filming outside again, but I forgot my microphone, and it was also super windy. So I'll show you a few shots of my evening walk just before sunset. Being in nature also is such a comfort. And so these things, learning from other artists, finding comfort in journaling, finding comfort in nature, comfort in animals, these are all ways that I'm living my life creatively. The journal prompt I chose today is "Living my life creatively is brave because..." And then toward the end of my journal entry, I talked about finding these role models in books and fictional characters, and then memoirists, especially Anais Nin. So Anais Nin is a writer who lived in Paris, and she's really famous for her diaries. The Diary of Anais Nin has been published in many volumes. And when I got my hands on that as a teenager, I just couldn't get enough. She went into great detail about her life and the artists she was friends with and being in Paris, and it just opened up this whole lens into a world that was so literally foreign to my Midwestern upbringing. So besides reading diaries and memoirs, other writers, especially poets and philosophers, reading the lives of artists, biographies and their memoirs gave me so many ideas and inspiration for how to live creatively. And also mythology. So Clarissa Estes' book, Women Who Run with the Wolves, is all about myths and fairy tales, really especially for women who run with the wolves. And I used to call that my Bible for a long time. It probably still is, but it's a book I've had ever since it came out in the 90s, and I've given it to so many other women. But she talks a lot about creativity in that book and just the unique challenges that women have around their creativity, and has so many wonderful myths and story tales to help us picture different ideas, different realities, different paths. I think when I'm walking on these dirt roads in nature, in the mountains where I live, the dirt road, that path, is not just a physical path, but really a metaphor for me. So it just, the act of walking in nature is very soothing to the mind. But also just being in nature and knowing, like, I'm on this path and I'm by myself, And there are other people on a path, on a similar journey that I am, even if we're not walking that path together. So that's what I really hope to offer you by doing these behind the scenes videos into my own journaling process. I hope it inspires you to do your own journaling. And thank you for putting up with this. I don't have a script. I'm just speaking, off the cuff, what's on my mind, what's in my heart, and sharing a little bit out of my own journal writing. But yeah, Joseph Campbell's writing too, and his work just has really helped me learn how to trust the path I'm on, even though I feel like I've had to bushwhack that path myself. And if you're not familiar with bushwhacking and what that means, that is when you are walking in the wilderness or the backcountry and you have a machete or something to cut branches and make a path, because there isn't a path. No one's been there before, and you kind of just have to, cut away the branches and brambles to make it through. I've done a lot of bushwhacking when I spent time in Alaska in the wilderness. And I just think that's a wonderful way to think about it sometimes when you're wondering, where am I, what am I doing, and who can help me do this? I've talked about this in other videos. Find some role models, some memoirs you can read the lives of other artists that you admire, and just know that if you are confused, it's probably because you're on your own path, trying your best to live your life creatively. And I feel that forging one's path and wanting to discover one's path is a creative act in itself. It really requires a leap of imagination, an intense amount of willingness to tolerate uncertainty, and to make your own way. I never know how to end my videos. I feel so awkward. I'd love to have you join me in this 30-day journal challenge. It starts whenever you sign up. I have a link here on screen for where you can get the prompts. It's totally free to participate, and I'll also leave a link in the description. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, I want to just totally start this over. Oh my gosh.